Good morning, LizzAnn, Denise, and Jennifer. Good morning, LizzAnn, Denise, and Jennifer.
Good morning, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Lizz. It's just one of those things, you guys. We are not.
What do you do? Dead battery's a dead battery. You can't do much about it, can you? Except go get a new one.
Oh. You guys, all right. I know we talk about the weather, but I'm going to tell you guys. Denise showed us a picture. Uh-oh.
Good morning to Sonia and Ramblin' Hick. Good morning to Sonia and Ramblin' Hick. Good morning to Ella. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ella. Good morning to you.
Good morning, you guys. Ella is still sick.
Oh, Ella, I'm so sorry.
She is still sick. But thank you, Ramblin' Hick. You guys, oh, I always do that, don't I? I see somebody new.
Morning, exploring with DP. Good morning to you. Good morning, exploring with DP. Good morning to you.
You guys, I watch the pop-out chat and I go, oh, I'll make a sound like, yeah. Oh, let me make my Facebook big. Oh, there we go. I got all bases covered, you guys. Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Ramblin' Hick. And what, you was here Friday, and heck, when somebody's on every day and then we don't see them for, a few days and you come back, it's like, hey, you're part of our everyday thing. So
I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, don't think that you don't mean something. Each and everybody in this in the chat means something very much. So yeah, me and I should have done team day. We got on our team shirts, you guys. We got on our
I have on the wrong shirt because I have on long sleeves. I forgot.
Oh,
it's blue. I didn't even think about it.
I thought you did. Okay, let me show. Okay. Got on my Jesus and coffee shirt.
Woo,
yeah. Woo, woo. Let me get.
Oh, Sonia, you have a nasty cold too, and Ella's not feeling well. Ramblin' Hick's in pain. Aw.
Well,
prayers for everybody.
Yep. Let me write it down. Well, oh, that requires me to get out of the chair and bend down. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Good morning, Sun and Moon Cricket. Good morning to you. Good morning, Sun and Moon Cricket. Good morning to you. Good morning, Chris. Oh, good morning to you. Good morning, Chris. Oh, good morning to you.
Yay, Cricket. I had not seen her in a while, and I saw her, I think, maybe on Sandy's auction. Yay, Cricket. And Chris.
Awesome.
Yay, Chris. Chris, I was talking about you this morning. It was good. It was all good. You know what we're going to do? Let me get me a swig. Sandy's in the hospital, and we have so many people that's hurting and sick. So I'm not going to ask Traci to do it this time. We're going to take a moment and pray for those that have come in and you guys are sick or you're hurting. So I'll go ahead and do a prayer. Lord, thank you for yet another morning that you got me out of bed, and for your love that you have shown to each and every one of us. Right now, I pray for Sandy's surgery, that she will be having this morning. And I pray for each and everybody that has came on and they are sick or they're in some type of pain. And even if it is a mind pain, Lord, I just pray that you will touch them and that you will give them peace. And Lord, that we can have the joy of you in this broadcast today. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
So, yay. So, yes, you guys do. Remember Sandy. I mean, I don't know what they do when they do cataract surgery, but somebody doing surgery on my eyes just freaked me out.
Yeah. Jennifer, she's having cataract surgery, so it's like an outpatient. But she had to go this morning for her surgery.
Yeah.
It'll be late today probably by the time she gets back home.
And that's why one of the auctions she had, I think Friday night, or was it Friday night, she had an auction to try to get up some money to go toward her, towards her, her bills. So I know I took MawMaw. It was outpatient. I remember when she had it done.
It's still, she was yesterday, I went on her live for a little while, and she was still, even though she felt like a piece with the timing of this surgery and what she was having done, she was still a little anxious and nervous, which anybody is when they're going to have something like that done. So just to, take a minute today and say a prayer for her. She will feel all those prayers sent her way.
Yeah. Ramblin' Hick, I guess it was a year ago, about the February 13th, I think it might have been, when I had shoulder surgery. The insurance was so crazy. All they would do to start with was a regular x-ray, which doesn't show anything. And they said, she just needs to do physical therapy. I got sick and couldn't do physical therapy, and it was a good thing. Because when I kept complaining, I keep wanting to ask you, Traci, and I didn't even know you yet. I wanted to ask you, how long was it, Traci?
You were still recovering from your shoulder when we first met. You were still recovering from that, but you had already had it done.
Yeah, so I kept complaining, and I went to the doctor. I said, look, my shoulder is still killing me. I can't move it. It hurts. And she said, we can get you an MRI. That's how she thought. Well, we can get you an MRI. And they got me one right then. And as soon as they did that, they called me back and had me set up with the orthopedic. They saw one tear. But when he got in there, they had to do a whole reconstruction.
That's what I'm afraid is wrong with Wright's knee. And they did an x-ray. And haven't done an MRI or anything, and I think he's got a lot more going on in there. And
well, if he goes to his own doctor, and it's still messed up, it's still under them. It's still on them because it's a work.
He did still hurt it at work.
Denise, you're the angel in the chat. You flutter around, and you touch everybody. So, Ramblin' Hick, what did you have done on your arm, if I can ask? But, yeah, he said, he come out and he said, I had to do a complete roto-rooter on you. So, I know young people ain't going to know what that is. We used to have roto-rooter commercials because so many people had,
clogged drains.
Or what is it with septic tanks? And you'd call roto-rooter. That's roto-rooter. That's the name. Dun, dun, down the drain. Okay, I can't remember all of it.
Oh, Sonia's looking at shoulder surgery at the end of the year.
Yeah, it is huge because when they go in there, they see more stuff. They see more stuff. But I have to say, he is a very good orthopedic surgeon. He really is.
When I had to have shoulder surgery on my right shoulder, they went in and same type of thing. They thought they were just going to have some small thing to take care of, and they got in there. They had to do a whole lot more than they thought they were going to have to do. And so he came into the recovery room and actually gave me a pain block in my neck before I even really got completely woke up, because he was concerned that it was going to be really painful, and it was when the numbness wore off.
Flush Roto-Rooter, that's her name. We flush worries down the
drain.
Oh,
Four-wheeler wreck. Oh,
that just makes me hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I remember flipping off my bike, flipping into the ditch, and we didn't wear helmets back then.
Good morning, Eli family, 1983. Good morning, Eli family, 1983.
Yeah, I can remember thinking I was all that, riding my bike, going around the corner, had my hands up, you guys, go leaning, and the bike went around the corner, and it just decided the wheel went toot, and in the ditch. Yeah, I mean, no wonder we're all messed up.
Oh, Rambling Hick, man.
Look, you're lucky, Rambling Hick, because I'm going to tell you, back when we were all four-wheeling, we had to, and we'd find country roads, and there was one road that everybody would go, and they'd ride their four-wheelers, and you had to be careful, little old country back road, because it was barely big enough for a car. I'd get nervous, afraid somebody's going to come flying over the hill. But this guy hit a tree and it killed him. So it wasn't just him. There was so many people that got hurt on that one road. But yeah,
Sonny tried to ride her bike up a plum tree when she was a kid. It was spring, so it was snowing flowers. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. See, I never wore one riding the four-wheelers. See?
We just didn't. I mean, we rode in standing up in the front seat of the car when we were little,
But I'm talking about, when my kids were young, we had four-wheelers when they were teenagers. And so I wouldn't wear no helmet. Rambling Hick, how old are you, if I can ask? Oh.
Ouch.
Chris.
I bet that hurt, Chris.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, my son, when he was a baby.
Aw.
Ella. Ella. I understand, because there's been times that week that Traci came on and Sandy came on and carried out the show. I couldn't even look at the keyboard, and I couldn't even get out of the bed to come in here. Okay,
Eli, we're glad you stopped in.
Okay, Eli. Eli, do I have you on Facebook? Because I'd love to FaceTime you today, if that was okay. You and I do a face-to-face. Just let me know. Just let me know. When Casey was a baby, well, when he was just walking. He had just walking good, like running through the house good. He broke his femur bone. So he was in a half body cast from his upper chest all the way down one leg.
Oh, my goodness.
Halfway down the other, and a broomstick in between his legs to keep them separated. And that he was able to crawl up on our waterbed, which had drawers up under it. So you can imagine how high. He was able to climb right up there. He would run. When he got it off, they said, now he'll probably limp for such and such a years. And I did a lot of praying. He got that cast off 2 weeks early. Yes, do that. Yeah, do that. Have you got my email, Eli? But that boy, when he got that cast off, there was 2 weeks early, and he did not have no limp, no nothing. And that's why he didn't do sports. Kevin was afraid of him doing sports, that he'd hurt himself. Kevin didn't get to do sports because of his eye, that his daddy was afraid that he'd injure that eye. So I think the only time Casey did sports was about 9 years old. Kevin and a friend from work, they were coaches, and that didn't turn out right because poor Casey. You start kids in T-ball. You don't start them at 9 years old and think they're just going to get out there and know how to hit that ball, because my husband worked so much. So when Casey got so big, when Casey got so tall, when he entered the high school, Keem said, that boy needs to be playing sports. You don't start in high school.
Right.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Good.
Good morning to 5-Speed. Good morning to you. Good morning to 5-Speed. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, 5-Speed. I have not got to see you lately. Have you been working hard? There you are.
Oh my goodness, Sonia. Her son nearly cut his little toe off and didn't even notice, didn't even feel the stitches. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Rambling Hick. With this four-wheeler. Is that the four-wheeler you got hurt? That is a monster four-wheeler.
My oldest son, I had one of those moments with him where, you say to your kid, you better knock that off or you're going to fall and crack your head open. And he fell and cracked his head open, and I had to take him and get stitches in his forehead way up here, Poor kid. Only needed a few stitches, like 3 stitches, but it was, a head injury. That he was like 2, bleeding like crazy.
But yeah, Rambling Hick, I just sent it. But yeah, MawMaw would tell you, she had 3 boys, and Kevin, him and his younger brother. Now the older one had asthma, so you can imagine back then. Because let me see, he'll be 59 this year. So back then, you didn't go to the doctors much. But Frances said that her boys had her at the emergency room all the time.
Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning to you. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning to you.
Oh, Dwayne. You guys, I got to share something. I love my Dwayne. I love him. And I'll say it here, even if my husband's in, he knows it. Let me pull it up. It ain't gonna let me. It is not gonna let me, you guys. I don't know. Let me see if I can share screen, if you guys can even see it in the bottom half. Oh, let me see. It is a hamster licking the thing.
Too funny. Licking the side of his cage.
Yes, I could not expand it. I don't know why, but yes, it is. It was so funny.
I gotta go grab a coat. I am freezing.
I know. I'm
freezing.
It is not really cold here. Yay, Eli. Yes. I'd love to talk to you about that. I would love to talk to you. You know, I was lucky, other than Casey breaking his femur, that, you know, but other than that, it was tonsils for Tiffany, and she had her adenoids taken out. Thank goodness, that girl snored so loud when she was a kid. And then Casey he was in and out of the hospital. He would have fevers just jump up, and so I started keeping him in bed with me. So I woke up one night and I just remember something felt like an iron. It was so hot, and it was him. His temperature was 105.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I took him to the ER, and they acted like it was no big deal. So they had to take out his adenoids and put tubes in his ears, because that's what the problem was. But he was always, even sick, he was happy running around. And MawMaw used to say, he is the happiest sick baby I have ever seen. And Tiffany didn't get sick that much. You know, she wouldn't say anything. My kids just didn't say anything. Hey, I didn't do the old-timey remedies. I took them to the doctor.
Right. Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you. Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you.
Yes, Eli.
Good morning to Deborah. Good morning to you. Good morning to Deborah. Good morning to you.
Oh, wait, I didn't act as excited when Land Shark come on. I had to.
I just realized, I looked at the calendar and realized that 1 week from Wednesday is my wedding anniversary, and we will have been married 31 years 1 week from Wednesday.
All right, wait. Tell me when. 1 week from
March
Wednesday.
11th. It'll be 31 years for Rank and I. He's put up with me for way longer than I thought he was going to when we first got married.
I can't imagine you being so. All right, 31-year anniversary. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine you being like you said you were when you worked.
I was cranky. I was a cranky person. Go 110 miles an hour, and I was so career driven, and my poor husband, honestly, he raised our kids way more than I did. They definitely have been not raised as well if it weren't for my husband. Aw, your birthday's the 7th, Ella, and she's supposed to stay in bed. Oh, 28 years for Craig and his wife. She'll keep you till May, Craig, I bet.
So, Ella, it is your birthday Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we'll do the birthday on the birthdays for March. No, I said April. Yeah, all right. April birthdays will be on my birthday for the channel. The channel's birthday will be April 8th. Sure will.
Awesome.
Let me see.
It is a long time to put up with me, I'm telling you.
I don't know. Is he talking about you or Land Shark's wife?
I think he's trying to talk about my husband. I'm telling you, I don't know how he put up with me all these years.
Okay, Deborah. Deborah needs prayer for an interview today at 2 p.m.
Sending prayers. Oh, that's awesome, Deborah. Both for me and for Craig. That's what Dwayne said, both of us. It is a long time, but I think Ryan should be a saint sometimes, because he has stuck with me through a lot of rough stuff.
Well, even when I was office manager around all those trucking men, Kevin worked with them. It was dump trucks. Then it ended up over the road. Because the person I worked for, he had both over the road trucks and dump trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And when I worked for him, I started working for him when I might have been about 23, 22 or something like that. So you guys, I was very mousy. I was excited to learn everything.
Good morning to Will. Good morning to you. Good morning to Will. Good morning to you.
Yay, yay. But yeah, I was very, I don't know. I was learning. I loved when I took accounting in high school. I loved it. So I loved what I did. And
Ooh, 42 years for Alvin and Denise this year.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Bye, Eli.
Yeah, I was a go at everything 110%. And I worked at I worked at a car dealership, so it was majority men. I was the only female manager when I was the office manager, and I had to be tough or I would have gotten plowed over.
Well, I had to learn, you guys. I had to learn how to do that. But you guys, when Thomas and me met in 1999, but became a couple in 2014. He's too shy to ask.
Aww.
And
That's sweet, Ella.
It was so funny because Kevin asked me on the first date. He sure did. He sure did. He knew what he wanted. I mean, he was together with the girl for 3 years. They were engaged for a while. And, they didn't do it. They didn't get married. So, damn, yes. I didn't tell him yes right away. I will tell you guys what I said. I said, and I kind of laughed about it. I said, don't you think I need to be divorced first? And I laughed about it. And he said, well, I won't ask you again. Because it got off with them. But yes, you guys, I dated while I was divorced. I did. It took me a while to get my divorce money all together. $400 back in 86. $400 for
That's a lot of money
for somebody to pay her own rent, rent a house, paying a little car payment, not getting anything from my ex at the time. It did take a little bit. But when October 1st, that was my brother's birthday, but when I opened the mailbox October 1st, and it was my finalized divorce papers. First I cried. Kevin didn't understand that. I think he thought I cried because of the person, but no. I felt like a failure. My parents weren't divorced, and then Kevin moved in with me. So again, we were still living in sin. It wasn't right, and I'll call it what it is. Me and Casey talked about that last night, going to get ice cream. There's my baby.
Good morning to Kevin. Good morning to you. Good morning to Kevin. Good morning to you. Before Ryan and I even started dating, we were good friends. We were great friends and very close friends. I was big pregnant with Benjamin, and his biological father was long in the wind. And Ryan said to me, I was probably like 7 months pregnant with Benjamin, and he said, I'll marry you and I'll be your baby's daddy.
Oh.
And I was like, you will not do that. And, you know, Ben was 2.5 when we got married. So he did really mean it. And I didn't think he meant it when he said that.
I did not know that. Sure, as much as we've talked, and you guys, I'm learning something new too. Well, so I knew Kevin a year before we got married, but we lived together 9 months. And he also, Traci, he also became Tiffany's daddy when she was just a year old. He did.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Just that's the kind of guy he was. He wanted to help me raise my child, and it was wow.
Now, what's that in United States money, Manuela? Because, it's a lot more now if you got kids. And now they'll make you, if you've got kids, they will make you do some kind of therapy session or something.
But when, right, and like we started dating, we started hanging out more and more, and he would come over to see Ben, and next thing you know, it just developed into something stronger. And like I said, Ben was 2.5 when we got married.
See, God sends people your way. And I'm not saying God meant for me to live the way I lived at that time.
Right.
Yeah, see, there's some places here that does the same thing. Yeah. There's over here they kind of do that too. But I don't know what I would have done. Kevin was my sounding board. I went to him for everything, like I used to do my dad. So he replaced my dad, and my dad didn't like that because I went to Kevin for everything.
My best friend, the one that passed away on Valentine's Day a year ago, we were all friends, really good friends. And she said to me one day, she said, you need to think about how you really feel about Ryan, because that boy is in love with you. And she said, you're going to break his heart. And it was like, I just hadn't really thought of him in that way. It's not that I didn't care about him, because I did, but we were just all friends. But then I was like, maybe I do think he's more than a friend. I started thinking I would be devastated if I lost his friendship. But then that was also a little bit nerve-wracking about starting to actually date, was because what if we break up? Will we still be friends? But I think we would have been, because we were good friends first.
Yeah. And see, God knew what he was doing. And then now he is the type, he's taking care of you. So had he not been a good guy, what if you were in the statistics of people that when you get injured or something happened, like some men don't stick around.
Right. Exactly. A lot of men don't stick around, or women. Both ways.
Yes.
Good morning to Porch Speed. Good morning to you. Good morning to Porch Speed. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Porch Speed. Your brother's up in here. Look, Eli, leave. If anybody sees this, they're going to be, oh, she is mean to him. I know you still want to be here. You probably 1 foot out the door. That's like Sonia. Sonia will say, I got to go to bed. I got to get up. And Sonia will say, Sonia, go to bed. But, I wouldn't took nothing for the way that I met Kevin. And then that's why I worked in the trucking company. Because when the secretary kept quitting, she happened to quit one day, and Kevin took me to the shop. And I talked to the owner and I got the job. But I had to learn how they did it, you know. And yeah, my husband was too. He was too. In his teens and in his 20s, yes, he very much was. But I just happened to go by there, and I learned how trucking companies have to do things. You know, haul tickets and all kind of stuff. I learned, and you know, then the secretary come back, and I was there. So I did have to learn to toughen up because working all around men, like the dispatchers, the supervisors, and stuff like that, they were used to this other personality. Let me see what Ella said. 2 years living in separate apartments. Then you can ask at court for a meeting. You'll get one in another year, and all children had an interview with the counselor about where they want to stay.
Wow.
And that's rough because, you know, I just told a mom that I know you think your teenage kids hate you, but they don't hate you. Moms have to be the ones to be tough. So that's kind of not fair because if kids get like, well, mama's not letting me do this.
What do they do, Ella, if like, for example, like I was never married to Benjamin's biological father.
Well, that's different because you don't get a divorce.
Yeah, so we didn't have a divorce, but they, you know, I just automatically got custody because he was MIA in the wind. But then the same thing happened like with my Jimmy. His baby, Brantley's mom, automatically got custody because she was the girl and they were never married.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you. But yeah, I remember when we got that in October. We got that in October, and Kevin and I married 7/7/87. So yes, we lived together 9 months. I knew him over a year. I mean, I knew him a year, and then we got married in 87. And then, you guys, he came home after 2 weeks. He came home from the cotton mill, and he said, he picked up the phone and he called somebody. He said, "Hey, you got a truck I can drive?" "Okay, I'll be there in the morning." And he hung up. He said, "I'm going to Atlanta. You can go or stay." You guys, I packed my little bag. I packed the bag. I grabbed Tiffany's stuff up and I put it in a bag, and we set out for Atlanta that very night. Hey.
Yes, Ella, my husband did adopt my oldest son. So that now he's his son, but his biological father was in the wind.
Yeah, Keithan adopted Tiffany, so
See, Deborah, that's how I feel. I was kind of a wild child, and I feel like Ryan kind of gave me stability because he was right. That had to happen here too with the biological father.
And
all he cared about was not having to pay child support anymore. Good morning, darling B. Good morning to you. Good morning, darling B. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Good morning, Siosa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Siosa. Good morning to you.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. And see, Casey said it's separate. Kevin's, was backwards. He said that I grounded him, that you know, he has told me that he probably wouldn't be alive now if it weren't for me, because I was so grounded. I went to church and I'd been through a lot, 2.5 years then with my family. I just, it felt good to have a strong person to have in my life.
Oh, good morning, Robert. Good morning to Robert. Good morning to you. Good morning to Robert. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Robert. I'm looking for you. Where's Robert?
He's not. Darlene B said, Robert said to tell us all good morning.
Good morning, Robert. Oh, my goodness. You too, Eli. Oh, goodness. I was looking for you guys. This one knows more. Look, this morning I had to set things up and join Traci and ask Denise, did she want to join Traci? And then I threw them in the thing and I went and took my shower. It's just been one of those mornings, you guys. I slept way too hard. And it was early. I missed 2 weeks of Walking Dead. I was so tired and sleepy. But I was hurting so bad. I told Casey when we were going to get ice cream, I said, I don't know what to take tonight. I said, I don't know whether to take this, which is a little bit stronger than what I usually take every night for pain. I said, I don't know. I said, maybe I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I slept hard, and I guess I slept good. And all Saturday, I thought it was Sunday, all day Saturday.
Yeah.
So I told Casey, I said, well, Sunday's going to be a given then. That's an extra day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wake up today thinking, why is he waking me up at 7? I don't feel like cooking breakfast. And I asked myself, well, what day is it? Monday? I said, are you serious? I would have slept my day away.
I was awake long before Ryan this morning. He got up and he's like, well, what time did you get up? I said, well, I thought it would be fair to give you a couple hours of sleep before you had to get up, because I just could not sleep. I couldn't get comfortable.
And, you know, us talking about being friends, Keithan, I could tell, was such a good guy. He was such a good guy. I even took him with me when I just not long met him. Because, you know, of course, you guys know the whole story. Me and MawMaw knew each other 3 months before I met Keithan. But I had to have a vehicle. And, you know, women shouldn't go unless you know cars inside and out. But anyway, my cousin told me about my aunt. Told me about this little pay here, buy here in the country. You guys, it was so far off in the country. And so I asked Keithan if he would ride with me. And I think at the time he might have still been with, down here we say old girl. He might have still been with that little old younger girl than me. And yeah, I found a little old Datsun. It's I don't know what it was, but it was a Datsun. It was small. And Keithan helped me pick that out.
Good morning to Judy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Judy. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Judy. And then 4th of July, we still weren't technically dating. But that 4th of July, I had to do something, and he and his mom, you guys, MawMaw, every 4th of July, we'd go up to the lake. She'd have all this food that she would prepare. And we'd all go up to the lake, all of her kids, you know, all 3 of them, and whoever they were with at the time. And, you know, kids running around. Well, actually, at that time, I think I was the only one who had a kid. But anyway, I don't know how it happened. Me and Keithan were later, so he decided to ride with me. And we showed up at the same time together. So it's just things happen like they happen. And I wouldn't take nothing back. I've had our life's been like a roller coaster, but I say, hey, it's been great. And like you, Traci, if everything were just, we do not live in a society of what was the name of where they made a remake of it, not Peyton Place, I don't think, but where all the women acted like zombies, you know.
Oh yeah,
What was that?
that?
Somebody tell me. They redid it. Nicole Kidman was in it.
Nicole Kidman was in it. Yeah.
And
Stepford Wives.
Yes, Stepford Wives. I mean, we're not all, now there are places like that. Casey went to a school that was like that, private school, and when we went to the ball games, I would look around and I think, oh my gosh, these people are like the Stepford Wives. I mean, it was like, you know.
Good morning and our good morning to you. Good morning and our good morning to you.
Good morning, Ann. Good morning. You know what, Ann? I guess because the scripture in front of me, I just did not think about. I didn't do my little ticker tape with the saying, and I am so sorry. But I do believe that one says the Lord is what is it, Traci? The Lord is the of my life. Let me see. I am just, the Lord is the strength of my life.
Yes.
That is what that one says. Excuse me. But go back to it. I got very tough. I got very tough on the, go ahead.
Good morning to Glenn. Good morning to you. Good morning to Glenn. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Sonia says she can.
She's seen neighborhoods like that.
Yay, Deborah. I mean, God can. I tell you what, God can reach down. See, Deborah, Ann. Wait, Ann. Dwayne, he wants to be put in the corner, and I'm not going to put, because he wants to be. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, Ann. I'm going to tell him no. You don't get to go in the corner, Dwayne. But I did toughen up with the people at the trucking company. I did. In fact, one time, I was hollering at the owner, my super. He was really more than just a supervisor. He was good. And Ann's putting you in the outhouse. It's trouble. It's trouble. But yeah, I did get tough. And one time I was yelling at the boss man. And I know his brother that has passed away by now, but his brother was listening, because when his brother come to work, he just liked to play people. He really did. And he caused a lot of conflict. But I did. I toughened up. I said, hey, you know, you want to let me go? Go ahead. I'll draw my unemployment. But yeah, I'm not going to quit. So I got tough. I did. But back then, you guys, everything was done by hand. He didn't have computers. I love the feeling of opening filing cabinets and filing stuff. I know it's going to sound weird, but I loved it. To take stuff and put it in a filing cabinet, and if they needed it, I knew just where to find it. So I had those skills, and I would get a headache during tax time, because what I went by was I would get the okay, let me think. I would get out the checkbook, and I had to do 1099s on people that at certain times when you'd have to pay them that way. And it was like looking through the checkbook, one thing after the other, and then typing in each 10. I did it myself, typing in all this stuff. I'd come home with a headache, and Kevin would be done out there sweaty, driving that hot dump truck, and I'd say, my head hurts so bad. And he'd say, you want to talk about bad? You ought to get in that dump truck and drive that dump truck. But there's a different thing when you work in the office. Traci knows.
I used to have to go to the chiropractor at the beginning of the month every month because of doing the month-end close and stuff like that. I would get a knot right between my shoulder blades every single time, and it would not go away until I went to the chiropractor. And crazy.
I did not get jobs. I would have been qualified for the jobs, but because I did not have computer experience, and then I got one and learned like little by little. The kids taught me basically. And I'd write things down. MawMaw knew more because she'd write everything down. I mean, that woman, she would go back to whatever, she needed to do. And she still knows more than me. She can do videos and do all that stuff. And I can't.
I agree with you, Denise. Computers made things a lot easier when we started having computers in the office all the time, but I still like having that hard trail to go back to when you found something that wasn't quite right. You could always trace it back through the paper trail.
And I'm going to tell you guys, if I had not kept every medical record, everything, just so in a filing cabinet, when it come time, because lawyers don't really do nothing, or at least the one I had, when it comes to that disability.
They want you to do all the legwork. You have to do all the hard work.
Yep. So when it comes to that disability, I pulled out everything, and I had stuff from 20 years ago. No joke. So especially when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, you better bet. I'm like, okay, it will get. I read up and I knew what goes on with that. So I sure enough kept up with everything. Yeah, Will. I mean, they used to call me at the conference center the note taker. And I did, because I'm going to tell you, where I worked, they would say, Darlene, what happened on the such and such conference? We had a call in about it, and I just want to know. I said, when? Well, it was such and such a day. You guys, we would have to do maybe 5 or 6 conferences a day. Every day, Monday through Friday. And you come back and ask me about one last week or the week before. So, and it was a sales rep. It was not and I remembered that one. And I said, well, the owner told me everything was fine. So they discounted it. Oh, okay.
Good morning, AJC Magic. Good morning to you. Good morning, AJC Magic. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Sonia, you going to bed?
Good night, Sonia.
And I hope you can sleep with that cold. And we love you. See you back tomorrow. So you guys, I started keeping these little things like this, and I would write down every little conference, and I'd put a check if it did good, or if something didn't go right, I'd write it in. And so that's what I kept up with. So when they'd say, Darlene, do you remember? I'd have what day was that? And I'd go through the back. Okay, yeah, I remember that. This happened. Yeah, that happened. But So anyway, they knew. They knew. They couldn't pull nothing on me. They sure couldn't. And I took notes. And somebody said I was a note taker. You better bet I was. The whole time I was there, I kept notes. I put down whenever I went on break. I put down when I went to lunch. And at one time, no joke, they got a little crazy and said that we couldn't go to the bathroom.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So people were, they were one person on purpose sit in her seat and use the bathroom in her seat on the floor around everybody. Yeah. But what I did, I went to the doctor because I was on a fluid medication. I went to the doctor and asked for a note. They said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I need a note to be able to go to the bathroom." But yeah, I took fluid pills. I had to. My legs would swell sitting there so long. But yeah, you guys, can you imagine working somewhere they tell you you can't go to the bathroom? So I had a note on file, and then I had to get another one. So yeah, and I could eat. I had a note that said I could eat. I had a fixed lunch at what time. Because after my my lap band surgery, they might, from 5:30, they might have my lunch at 1, and I'd get off at 2:15.
That's crazy, yeah.
Or they started no lunches. They would bring in food. I couldn't sit there because I couldn't take a bite and then Dwayne, United States Marine Corps. But there was no way I could take take a bite of something, have to swallow it real quick and answer something. I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
So I had a fixed lunch as well. And I really tried to do everything I could to stay working because I made good money and I loved the interaction with everybody to a point. To a point. So, but yeah. Keeping those notes, and it helps. It helps. So if any of you guys, I'm going to just tell you, if any of you guys know that you have a chronic illness and you feel your body telling on you that you're getting worse, or you're having to miss more work, or you're having to go to the doctor more, keep up with each and everything.
Yes, start yourself a file. Start sticking everything in the file.
Yeah, school's like that too. They try to be. But no, if I was at school, I would have just walked out and my dad would have took care of it. Yeah. You guys, my dad come to that school a few times. I'll never forget my dad. I was behind him trying to keep up with them. And I called him because it was like a racial thing. Me and somebody during that time, even in the 70s, things were different, a little bit different. But me and this boy called each other. We called each other names. And the teacher told both of us to hush, but I don't know. I get so mad sometimes and I cry. And I don't like to cry in front of people.
I hate that when I'm mad and I cry because I'm mad.
Yes.
That is the most frustrating thing.
So I got up, and this was 11th grade. I got up and I walked out, slammed that door, and went to and called my dad, come get me. He said, "What's wrong?" Have a good day,
Deborah.
Bye, Deborah. Love you.
Aw. Tell Robert, have a good trip. Oh, there's Sandy. Good morning to Sandy. Good morning to you. We are praying for you. Sandy, we are praying for you this morning. That didn't rhyme very well.
It don't matter. But yeah, I called my dad. He worked third shift, you guys. I could call him and he'd get right up and come get me in high school. And I was crying and I was waiting on him. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I got into it with so-and-so." And I was crying. Oh, yay!
Good morning, Memphis Matt. Good morning to you. Good morning, Memphis Matt. Good morning to you.
Oh, Matt, I wondered. I was thinking of you. Oh, my goodness.
Matt, we will add you to the prayer list.
Oh, my goodness. It makes me hurt. Matt, I don't know if you know Denise Caines, but her husband just had back surgery. Oh, Matt, I tell you what. See, I had neck fusion, and I guess I'm glad the doctors didn't go to just do something like that to my back. You know, but yeah, my dad come and I was doing the, you know, so we had to, my dad fussed at that darn, that principal, and another time, I forget what happened. But I was walking down the hallway and the principal was in front. My dad was behind him. I was behind my dad. My dad was cussing all through the hallway. He had to tell my dad to stop cussing, and my dad wouldn't stop. So yeah, you guys, sometimes I used to think my dad was 10 foot tall, and he was not. He was relatively kind of short, but he was 10 foot tall to me. And then I met Kevin, and Kevin was that 10 foot tall and could move mountains and could pick me up when we first met. Hey, I didn't weigh but 120. but you know, you have to, I've told people, the younger generation, whether they listen or not, I don't know. But I've told them, you've got to be friends with who you're with. Because children, before you know it, your children are going to be grown and gone. What are you going to do then? There's too many people that get divorced once the kids are gone. Because they were so busy with whatever during that time that they lost contact with each other.
I think it gets you through those rough times too, because when Wright and I would have times where things weren't necessarily going so well for us for various reasons, we always had our friendship to fall back on. So even though he is the love of my life, he is also my best friend too, you know, so that when things weren't going so well as a couple, he was still my friend.
Yeah. And, you know, that's something the kids had to learn. Yes, I love my kids. But as they got, you know, older, and even my stepdaughter tried the whole, well, MawMaw and so-and-so and so-and-so. Basically, the whole house could go see the baby when the baby was being born, the first granddaughter, except me. So, you know, the thing of it is, Kevin stayed home. And my kids had to learn when it came to me, and, you know, and Kevin, that we chose each other. And that's what it's supposed to be. Let me see. Denise said her dad's her rock. Yeah. Yeah. See, you have to.
When I think that was for Wright and I, the time that we took to move away from both of our families and go down to Georgia for a couple of years and live down there, just him and I, we didn't have a bad marriage before that, but we didn't realize how good of a marriage we did have until it was just him and I, and we only had each other to depend on.
Oh, you are fresh out of. I'm sorry, you're in the outhouse
Oh,
starving.
Dwayne.
I'm so sorry because you know what? We don't have any bacon and we don't have any grits. Let me see something. Let me see if I can pull up something and share.
You're going to have to go to the Waffle House.
Does he have Waffle House there?
I don't know if they do out there in Utah. We don't up here in the north. And I miss Waffle House. And I saw, what were we, Wright and I were watching something this weekend and we saw Waffle House. I was like, oh, they showed the inside of a Waffle House. And I was like, oh, I miss Waffle House.
Oh, I know. All I can do is just.
And we didn't go there that much. But man, once in a while. Sure tasted good. Nope, they don't have Waffle House.
Okay. Let's see where. We're going to see where Dwayne is. All right. Okay. Let me share screen. This is where Dwayne is. Let me see if you guys, I don't even know if you guys can hear it.
Oh.
Can you hear it?
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
But I can see
All right. I'm saying, let me not step on a snake. For those of you who's never seen Outhouse, for real. That is from 1914, over 100 years. That's poison ivy growing on it.
Oh.
Oh, there's was my exercise ball. So you guys know I ain't been exercising. Still got the natural hinges. Actually, I said those are the natural. Wait. I said, those are the real hinges on that sucker. That's what I said. Yeah, that side's gone.
That cast iron will last forever, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Dwayne, you're so funny. He said that you've got him chained up out there in the outhouse. Call the cops.
Oh, that was a fancy outhouse, you guys. All right. Okay. I cut it off. But I'll put the link down there. Denise, I told you I had an outhouse video. But so, yeah, Dwayne, did you escape? That's probably how it got the hole in it. Dwayne was in there and escaped. But when that does finally fall, I want the cast iron one. We'll do something with it. I don't want it to just stay there. Hey, MawMaw's family was rich. They had there's an old picture. They had 4 or 5 outhouses, on the property. And I'm like, MawMaw, who's all those outhouses for? So, are you nervous, Sandy? Because we prayed for you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dwayne, I've had that toilet cam for, oh my goodness. I took that a while. That's been out there a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to you. You guys remember the ones where they'd have 2 seats?
That's Denise was saying that her in-laws, her grandma and grandpa had a 3-seater.
Mm-hmm. I remember going places that had
I can
2.
remember going somewhere that had 2 and going in at the same time, with my sister, either my little sister or my big sister. And
see, Blandine had 2 seats.
2-seater.
People, I mean, even though I had indoor, everything was indoor plumbing, when we went to see some people that lived really, really in the woods, they had outhouses and they had a well. That was the best water. Bring that water up and have that dipper to drink it from, made it even colder.
Wow. Blandine's even had a lid.
Yeah, see, that one place I'd go to, it didn't have a lid, and I was so scared.
There was a place up north that I used to go to when I was a kid that was the 2-seater, and there wasn't even really seats. It was just wood with the holes cut out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want nobody in there.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but I had to have somebody when I was a kid. No, I was not going in one by myself and shut that door. I was not. No way. No way. Where the place I was baptized, they had outhouses, and I was scared. It was way off on some lakes, and I remember one time that I went to that bathroom and come back out, and it was like bushes. You guys, I had ticks crawling up my legs, and there I was, a spooky kid, 9 years old, scared to death about those bugs crawling up my legs. But people. Okay.
Good morning, Leticia. Good morning to you. Good morning, Leticia. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. People now, we have running water. We have, I have what I need.
Cell phones, computers. We take so much for granted nowadays.
And hey, the past few years, cell phones was the one thing I had to give up. I have one that works in Wi-Fi, but, Kevin asked me, he said, well, what's more important, this or that? Do you really need a cell phone? And I'm like, no, I'm here all day. Or if I go somewhere, then I have I can call 911 on it until, things get better for us. There's my new friend.
Good morning, Zero Tree. Good morning to you. Good morning, Zero Tree. Good morning to you.
Yay! I want to tell you, I shared your video on my Facebook, Zero Tree Blogger. If you guys look at anybody's got Facebook, go to that video of him. Was it you or was it your family going through all of those crocodiles? I want to know. Oh my goodness. That's the one that I clicked on. So you guys, that is my new friend. And I just got to say, I thought, people are going to see that and it's going to freak them out. So I'm going to share this.
I just showed Zero Tree's channel some love.
All right. I'm sharing it. You guys, those crocodiles are moving like, you see that?
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Oh, I have a freak out.
Look at that.
Talk about wet my pants. Oh my goodness sake.
I am telling.
He's laughing.
I'm telling you guys, that right there freaked me. It freaked me out.
Yeah, freaked me out too. That's freaky.
MawMaw come in the kitchen and I said, oh, MawMaw, come here and look at this. And she can't move fast, but she come over here. I said, look at that. That looks like minnows after one I said, oh my gosh. And I was just watching. I was like, oh, I was sitting there in that little boat. I'd be so paranoid. And she said, well, I thought they hunt alligators and stuff. And I thought I said, look, that is in the Philippines, MawMaw. In Central America, in Asia,
Andar said the tails are yummy. I don't want to get close enough to find out.
I would probably taste of it.
I would taste if somebody else caught it, skinned it, cleaned it, cooked it,
and not told me it was a tail until I tasted it.
I would taste it, and then if they said, "Oh, that's what it is," I'd probably be like, "Oh, that's not so bad." But yeah,
Love you, Leticia. You always stay on the road. She stays busy. We got to go today.
Have a good day, Leticia.
We got to go today to the to do some stuff. Oh, Blandine said she went to the Philippines.
Good morning to Perla. Good morning to you. Good morning to Perla. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. I mean, I see pictures and it's beautiful. It's just, you know, I guess there's places that have not been tore down and, you know, deconstructed like they've done with the Amazon. So, yes, I loved it.
I'll taste like chicken. I wouldn't be opposed to trying it, but
so Sandy, you've heard of The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss? Well, Norgasar has the hat in the box. So, just so you know, I'm going to the post office today with your hat in the box. There you go. I'm just telling you, it ain't going to be a surprise. And MawMaw threw something in there for you too. Oh, you live in Manila.
That's where Blandine said she went to Manila.
And you know, I can't travel, but when I come across like videos, you know, like you, Zero Tree, and we have, oh goodness, from Singapore, my friend from Singapore. Help me out. I just watched her crafting. Yes, Pat. And when I get in another location, every time somebody tells me where they're from, I'm going to write their name down and stick little pins in my world atlas. Because I'm excited to see how many pins and where the pins are going to be. So, but now he said those were crocodile. And I think crocodiles, I believe, I might be wrong, but I think they grow bigger than alligators. But Kevin and I love to watch channels. You know the guy that fishes for monsters? Have you ever seen him?
Yeah. What's his name?
He's got
the show is called River Monsters.
Yeah. And he goes all over the world looking for when he hears that some kind of fish or something has eaten somebody, and he goes all over the world. Yeah, Denise. Kevin tried it at the Rattlesnake Rodeo a few years ago. Aw, thank you, Zero Tree. Kevin tried it, but what I saw, it was overcooked. It was like if you overcook a fish. It just didn't look right. He tried it, but he wasn't impressed. So I think it's all in the way you cook it. Oh, quit saying very stringy. And see, I've never eaten lobster.
I do like lobster.
And in crabs, I can't go there. I can't go there. All that sound, all that sound of cracking and you guys, I won't go to a real seafood place. I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I tried frog legs, didn't know what I was eating when I was a kid. I ate rabbit, didn't know what I was eating as a kid. Won't eat it again if you tell me what it is. I did eat squirrel dumplings because my ex, that's the first thing when I first met my ex's uncle. And they had been squirrel hunting. And he done up squirrel dumplings or something with gravy, and I did eat it. But
I'm pretty adventurous, and most things I would be willing to try at least once, a little taste. But
look, in the South, people will eat possum, they'll eat frogs, they'll eat squirrel, they'll eat anything that they can find, I believe. But one day, one of my big pots is still out there. I got one out there now that I had to run water in. But that's my soup pot. I had 2 of them. But no, my cousin's husband came over one day, and him and Kevin got some squirrel from our yard, and they skinned them outside, and no. They brought them in and said, wash these. Oh, my gosh. I said, no, I'm not touching those. And see, Zero Tree, I'm going to live vicariously through your pictures and your videos. I sure am.
I would have to have somebody else would have to fix it for me to try it. I wouldn't want to go from...
No. And then they put them in baggies and put them in the refrigerator. So Casey said, Mom, what's that weird looking stuff in the bags? I said, squirrels. Ooh. So then, when they gave me the boiler to wash out, I could just, I threw that boiler away or used it for something else. It didn't come in the house. And I mean, I have washed deer meat in the sink. But you know, Zero Tree, everybody acts like they want to come to America or whatever. But, you know, where you guys live and what you guys do, it's just beautiful. There's beautiful country.
It's not always sunshine and roses here in the United States either. There's some ugly things and some ugly people and some ugly situations, but I'm not saying we don't have it better than a lot of places, because in some ways we do.
I don't even know what those are.
Loot or lutefisk.
But yeah, I tell a lot of people, you know, when I go to their channels, I will tell them that, you know, they have beautiful country, you know, beautiful. All right. Lutefisk is bad, but not as bad as surströmming. Balak is pickled. Oh, no, I can't even say that. Okay.
Pickled what?
Nothing. I'm not even going to say it. Because that just turned my stomach, and there's other people ain't going to want to know about what it is. So I'm going to pass by that real quick, you guys.
I have not seen the new documentary about Gabriel Fernandez Siosa.
Siosa, I did. I watched that whole thing, I think. Started it Friday. And that really upset me. Oh, no. Siosa. Oh, Siosa, if it flipped my stomach, no, ma'am. But, yes, I did watch. If you guys have Netflix, you guys, it made me angry, Siosa. It made me angry and sad. It made me angry and sad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, it was about a few years ago. The little boy that was beaten so bad by his mom and stepdad, and I think it's the first time that somebody got the death penalty for beating their child to death. I don't know why that's such a big thing not to get the death penalty, but it went all the way to tell about them, and that broke my heart because I'm going to tell you, Siosa, I worked in childcare, and you better bet I did have to call what we call DHR here. Some people call it DFAX, and they called it something else. And I did have to call them because I had one of my little boys, he had his shoe off because he kept saying all day his shoe was bothering him. Well, from the time he got there, when he first got to the daycare, he was sitting there watching cartoons with the other kids, and he just fell backwards. And he just was so lethargic. Are you okay, Trace?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm getting tired, but I'll be all right. I can hang on a little bit longer.
But that little boy just fell out, and I called his mom. I said, did he take cold medicine or something? I said, he can't even sit up straight. I said, he hit the wooden floor. And she said, oh, okay, I'll get my daddy to come get him, his granddaddy. And they live right up the hill from me, so that he come and got him. Mm-hmm. Well, a little bit later, he, like not that same day, but days later, he said something was hurting in his shoes. So I said, okay, let me see. And it was a little metal pipe. And so I picked it up with, I think I picked it up with a tissue because I kind of wondered. And I went in there and asked a friend and her boyfriend. I said, you guys, what is this? It was in so-and-so's shoe. And the boyfriend said, oh, that is a shooter. And I know they'll probably deem me. But I said, a what? And they said that was used to smoke crack cocaine. That is why the little boy was coming in stoned. That's why he looked overly tired. That's why he always had a runny nose, and that he just couldn't handle that. So I called the mom again. But I had to call. I took it to police station. No joke. Hey, Anna.
Good morning, Anamora. Good morning to you. Good morning, Anamora. Good morning to you.
Good morning. But I had to take it to the police department, and I asked them. I said, what is this? And they told me. So when you are in the position that you take, you are welcome, Zero Tree. You are
Thanks
welcome.
for coming in.
Thank you. And each of these people are from different places. Go to their places, and you can see a lot of America from watching their videos. Mm-hmm. But when you are in the position of daycare, I am telling you, Siosa, I did not play. It broke my heart that nobody except that teacher tried to really help that little boy. And even to this day, as the documentary talked to her, it hurts her so bad that one of her seats in her classroom, she does not let anybody sit in that seat. She said that will always belong to that little boy. And that's how much it impacted her. And I didn't have to let him go, but the mom was, they reached out to the mom, and she had to have known it was me. But that little boy, they ended up moving right in front of the daycare house, which we own the property now, but they lived in a trailer. And you guys, when we'd be outside with the kids or I'd take them for a walk, he would stand out there or he'd come up to me and he'd say, Miss Darlene, I want to come back. I want to
Aw.
play. Oh my gosh, you guys. I want to play. Can I come back to your house? And during working hours, you guys, of the daycare, I couldn't let him come over. And that hurt every time I saw him. It hurt so bad. It did.
I bet.
And then there was a little girl that would, his cousin, and she would have on her pajamas way into the day because they'd lock the kids out of the house. They would lock the kids out of the house and the kids couldn't go in the house. And they'd be dirty and it just would break my heart. It did. So for that to happen to that little boy, if anybody can handle watching it, go back to, let me see, my cousin told me about it. And I believe that she has a very, very colorful, probably worse than you, Dwayne, way of speaking. I'll put it that way. And I probably couldn't have watched that with her because of her language.
Is it on Netflix, Darlene?
Yes, Traci. Yes. And then exactly what happened to that little boy, and in the same apartment complex, happened to another little boy. I'm like, how did... All of them got fired, the people with DHR that let that slip through. Oh, you've just watched half of it? Oh, see, you just don't know how mad you're going to be. So I'll quit talking about it because I'll let you see. But I was disgusted. I was angry. I cried. And it happens every day. It happens every day.
That's just one of the things that's just so sad is that it is happening all the time.
So who is their voice? And I sit there and watched that. And like they said, all he wanted was love. And it made me think of my childhood. And I thought, when I was little, I didn't understand when I was in the first grade why I was talked to by my mom how I was. I didn't understand why I was so bad or the words that she called me. So it broke my heart because all he wanted was love.
Yeah, I remember one time when we were on vacation in the Upper Peninsula, my mom and my stepfather did not either one swim, but us kids all knew how to swim, and not that we were great swimmers because we were still little kids, but my stepfather said to us, we were just waiting like up to our knees in Lake Superior, which you don't want to go in that lake too far because it is ice cold even in the summer because it's cold up there. But he said to us, you guys be careful how far you go out. We don't care if you drown, but what would we say to the neighbors?
Oh my goodness.
I have never forgot that as long as I've lived. I've never forgot that he said to us kids, we don't care if you drown, but what would we tell the neighbors?
I mean,
what do you mean? You know?
Yeah. Well, now, my dad was bad about the way I learned to swim. He'd take me to the same place that I got baptized in, and he would hold me. He held me up, and where a drop off was, and he'd say, "All right, now you better swim. I'm gonna let you go," and he'd let me go. And of course, I'd keep, and then he'd pull me up, and I'd be crying, and I'd never tell him. I'd never told him before. I'm gonna tell Mom. But I was crying, and I said, I'm going to tell Mom. He said, you better kick them feet. And then he let me go again. But that was not the best way to teach me how to swim. And so, but I did learn. and probably learn that day, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always afraid. I was afraid. Did you sing to Pearly Precious?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, it's just, I can't even remember how I learned. I guess I would always kind of be kind of in the deep and kind of not at the public pool.
Mm-hmm.
My friend could dive off the side and stuff. No, I was always a jump off and cause this big splash. I never learned to dive.
We went to a church day camp when we were little. That was in the summertime, and you could choose 2 crafts, they called it, to do in the, when you were at camp. Like you could do outdoor cooking or BB guns or swimming. And my mom always insisted, because she didn't know how to swim, that swimming lessons were a requirement. We had to take swimming. We could take whatever else we wanted, but swimming was a requirement.
Yeah.
For my mom.
Well, I took Tiffany to swimming lessons, and she never liked getting her face wet. And so she would try to swim but didn't want to get her face wet. And that's for one of the first things they did was, they'd let the kids do this and get their face wet, and they had to put their face in the water. Tiffany didn't want to do that. Casey, on the other hand, when MawMaw got the pool done up here on the heat right outside, when she got that pool put in, her and my father-in-law, Casey might have been about 4, and that boy could swim like a fish. I am not kidding. He when he was, and MawMaw, very fast swimmer, so they'd race back and forth. And so me and
Denise was on the swim team at Fort Stewart.
Oh my goodness. No, see, I
love to swim.
I love to swim.
Jimmy was always a water baby. He loved being in the water. Ben, not so much, but he did eventually learn how to swim. But Jimmy, I swear, just swam right from the beginning. He just always loved to be in the water.
Well, from what I was told in California, that when I was a baby, that Dad just dropped me in the water, and then just done the little thing. I don't know what I did, but undoubtedly I didn't drown. But I guess babies, they say babies can naturally do that. But I don't know. I think from what I was told, that my mom wasn't too happy about that.
I wouldn't be trying that with one of my own babies, I can tell you.
I helped my grandson when he was real little. I helped him to learn to swim. I would, but that was not in the deep water. And then after that, he loved jumping off the diving board and doing all that. And I was hoping I'd get to do that with Abriana, but the pool's huge frogs. And me and Kevin talked about the pool yesterday. He's going to get somebody to come out and give an estimate about getting it back open. If we end up with the money to do it, then we will open it back up, because he said basically it will cost the same amount to put dirt in it, to bring dirt in, and level everything up, as to reopening it.
He's probably right, to haul dirt in and fill it.
Yeah, because it's a big pool. It is 9 foot, I think, at the deep. And I forget how long and wide it is, but they got a pretty big pool. So he said that if we're going to try to open it back up, but it's going to be heated. I told him, because I don't care what the weather, even if it's cold, a heated pool, I really need to start swimming.
That would be really good for your back and stuff, a heated pool. Yeah. So that you could spend more time of the year in the pool.
Yep. When I was still working, I would come home. I would put on maybe something on to cook. I would put laundry on to do and go out there, and I would do my laps. I would walk the pool. I would swim against the current, and I would do leg exercises, and I would do all that stuff. And so I hope we can reopen it. I really do. Me and you both got cold.
I'm freezing.
Well, think about it. My hair usually dries fast, but it's still damp. So you can imagine the back of my shirt. The back of my shirt.
I'm freezing and I'm tired and my shoes untied. Just kidding.
Oh, I have not heard a thing from Casey.
I was just going to ask you, is he planning to do Porch Church this morning?
You guys, I don't know. I'll ask him, but he did some heavy lifting too yesterday. Because when I sat in there and started putting jewelry all up to try to redo get the craft room ready, he did, you guys, he did a lot of heavy lifting to put everything on the table so I can sit there and sort things out. Yesterday, I was in the small little cheap desk chair that usually the arms in the back falls off and the upper thing don't work anymore because you start up this way and it just goes down. Yeah. I was in that and I was bending over picking stuff up and then sitting up. I did that so much that my back felt like it was breaking in two.
Did I see though that you finally got to the end of the willow box?
Willow box! Yeah.
That's exciting but sad because you were always still finding good treasures in the willow box.
Oh my gosh, you guys. The stuff I found in the willow box. And I would say, MawMaw, this is going to work for you dream catchers. MawMaw. You guys, it was exciting because some stuff I put in a little jar, like in a special jar. And then I had to sort it to where I wouldn't lose it. But it took me so long to get to the bottom of my willow box. And I want everything to be together that came out of the willow box. But, oh, my goodness. I was so excited going through all that stuff. But I am going to be excited to be able to sit there. And I'm going to get my tail in there and do what I need to do. Because Casey gave me some things that I can have put stuff away. Because I want to be able for me, him, and MawMaw to sit at the table together on Art Therapy Tuesdays. I want to open it back up. I did if you guys go to my community tab, I have a poll out there as to who wants art therapy to come back, Art Therapy Tuesdays, or do interviews with people on Tuesdays. So you guys go and vote and let me know. But at one time, the Art Therapy Tuesday was way ahead of the interviews. Now it's kind of getting neck to neck. So, Traci, I feel funny up here with just me and you.
I know, and I'm like so tired. I'm trying to hang on for you.
Well, after yesterday, of all the stuff I did, it might have to be a early one.
May cut it off a little early today, and that'll give you a chance to take a break a minute before, if Casey does do church.
I'd say about 10:30.
All right.
That would give me time to do a little bit, let the dogs out and the cat, and drink me some coffee. But I'm going to knock on his door and see.
Okay.
So that way I can let you guys know, because I have not had anything pop up on Facebook.
I haven't seen anything pop up either. So
did he put anything?
Oh, look, hang on. Anna Moore hasn't seen anything either.
All right, you guys. Oh
Porch
gosh,
Church Network.
you guys, I felt like I lifted weights yesterday.
Yeah.
Until I was telling them, it felt like last night I was just laying there in bed, and all of a sudden my arms got to cramping up. And I told Keevan, I said, "Oh no, I'm having muscle spasms," and it was in both arms. Scared me to pieces. All right, let me go see.
I don't see anything set up for
Okay.
this morning, but
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I can tell. No porch church, but yes, I told them what we did.
do.
Other than the post office.
Just checking. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd, Bessie. What'd he say?
Okay.
Oh, you didn't hear me ask. What did he say?
He
I'm
said,
like, well, what did he say?
he was like, I said, no, I told everybody what you done yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might do Anna Moore. I might do a do like a show, do a video with my phone of some of the stuff on a tray that come out the willow box. That's just, you guys, when I see shiny stuff and I see stuff with rhinestones, and I'm like, oh, pretty, MawMaw, look.
Yeah, when you see like the ones that have the Aurora Borealis crystals in them,
you know, that's my
you get all excited.
You know.
It's fun.
Oh, you know. And so, yes, I'll be taking a video because Casey, when I look back at old videos, you guys, well, the very first video, Casey doing the walk through the house like I talked about earlier this morning, you know, yeah, there was that mess. And then Casey, there's some videos Casey had out there that then the mess was gone and he had it looking so pretty. But anyway, it's like I go through the stuff or walk in that room, and against that window there I see the jewelry jars, jewelry hanging out, and earrings hanging off of the actual glass jewelry jars. And I just stand there and look at it. He said, all that needs to be in something. And I get this look. But I kind of like the jewelry just hanging.
Kind of like the aesthetic that it is.
Yes, I do. So, I do. I just need to get stuff to where if the cat steps on stuff, I had to pick jewelry up out the floor. Well, I had to get a dustpan. I cleaned the dustpan real good. And then I swiped the stuff the cat had just knocked over all in the floor. I swiped it up and put it in something. And so that way when I get each piece out, I can clean it. So I will be getting back on jewelry jars, you guys. I will be getting back to those. Let me see, we got a few minutes. Let me get out my
prayer jars, God jars.
Yes, because I have not. Let me see when the last one. Oh, I never put dates. I don't think. I think I just put who I sent them to. Let me see. Yeah, I did find. Yes.
Who was the last one that you sent one to, Joe? Good morning, anything is possible. Good morning to you. Good morning, anything is possible. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning. And I am so sorry. We're about to end November 12th. Is the last one. And that, yes, I sent Josie. I sent LizzAnn's Hug and Kisses jar and her saltine hat. And I sent your shirt, the Jesus and Coffee.
Wow.
You guys, November, December, January, February, March, April, March.
March.
Oh, I did do one for my sister, so let me write that one down. I did do one for her. I sure did. Hers lights up.
Good morning to Kelly. Good morning to you. Good morning to Kelly. Good morning to you.
And as I look over, there's so many that I sent to, and I don't like to usually name names, but let me see.
I have a beautiful one.
I forgot that I did yours.
Anything is possible. I didn't have anything written down, but you can most certainly tell us your prayer request. Denise has a prayer request. Anything is possible, Denise has a prayer request.
$42.
Wow.
But that's, and plus Bibles sent out.
Right.
So, but you guys, that's
quite
what
a ministry.
it is, but I haven't been doing
Oh
it.
my goodness. One of her rods and 2 pins broke.
Oh no,
Oh, my
you guys. If you please go to her channel. Please go to her channel and know who she is and what she's going through. And I just see where, yes, she does water exercises. And we were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only kind of exercise that I can do. So, you know, we're talking about, I pray and you guys help pray. I know it's not a selfish prayer that we get our pool fixed. I promise it is a necessity. I have to be able to exercise. This, my joints and my muscles being so stiff,
Mm-hmm.
I've got to have something that will help that. And water aerobics is the only safe thing that I can do.
Mm-hmm. Plus, even just, it's helpful and good passive exercise to just walk in the water.
Yeah.
You know, because it just gives you, helps you hold your body weight so that you're not all pressing down on your lower body.
Yep.
Where.
And I used to love to swim against the current. I'd go to the jet that's pushing out real hard. I would swim against that. So that worked my arms. Doing the lunges, lunge to the left, you know, and stretch that out real good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate to say it, Denise, but I think that if it's broken and 2 pins are broken, that the pieces can migrate. There's a chance that the pieces can migrate, that they may have to do surgery at least to remove the broken pieces. I've had a pin removed, which was in my foot, that was a way easier surgery than having the stuff put in. But that, I don't know if that's always the case.
My cousin had one of those things like you got in, like It's under the skin, isn't it?
Yeah.
She had one, and her body was rejecting it, and the things were coming out.
Oh.
Coming out, and then trying to dig into her spinal cord. So they got it out just in time. But oh my goodness, Callie. So yeah.
That she finds out next week. Well, definitely, I put you down on my prayer list, Denise, and I will definitely be praying for you for the next week till you find out, and then after probably too. For sure.
So see, Callie, that's why they tell me I need to do swimming, because there's nothing they can do with my pinched nerve, and it makes my legs feel funny. But they said that the best thing I could do is pool therapy. And it's just to go to the sportsplex by myself and just get in the water by myself and swim some. And I ain't got no swim. Not that I'm vain about a swimsuit body, but look, I'm just weirded out about getting in a bathing suit. At least over here, nobody can see me. Oh, it caused you to be more inflamed. Welcome, welcome, Carla. Welcome.
Good morning, Carla D. Good morning to you. Good morning, Carla D. Good morning to you.
And how are you on this morning? Wow.
Amen, Callie. Amen. Jesus is our healer.
I had so many people telling me different things, Denise. Some of the doctors would say she just needs to exercise. And then some of them said, well, you need to walk 2 miles. That's what one of them that made me cry. He said, well, you need to walk at least 2 miles a day, every day. And then he said, oh, do you even work? Yeah, he was the one that made me cry, and I did a video about him. And I said, no. I said, I'm not able to walk. I'm not able to do that. And I was told nothing but water exercises, and no, I don't work.
Couldn't walk 4 blocks, let alone 2 miles.
I mean, I try, when I go in the grocery store, and we went in Walmart, and Kevin said, well, you need to holler at Angel while we're here. I said, where's she at? He said, she's down in aisle 4, I believe. Now, you guys, big Walmart. And I said, okay. She was working. She wasn't on this aisle. Oh, my gosh. I thought, oh, my gosh, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? She was way back there. And my back was hurting. And I was like, hey, Kevin told me to come back here, and we chit-chatted, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta walk all the way back. And she said people come in there. I said, I guess I need to come in here and exercise, hold on to a buggy and walk. She said, you wouldn't believe how many people come in here and do that. Like older people, she said they will walk around in Walmart. So anyway, I don't know about wearing my leggings in the pool. I didn't think about that. That might not be too bad.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. That, not only would I not feel bad, but all right, you guys, it is 10:32, and Traci can only hold out too much too, and
we've been on about 2 hours,
and I am feeling the pain, you guys, but I love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow. And Casey,
love you guys too.
I love everybody.
Did you guys hear him? He said he loves everybody.
Love you, Casey.
All right. Let me see. Let me do my countdown. 3, 2, 1. Bye.